Groove City.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lefty.
And I'm Rich Furniss. Welcome to another episode of Groove City.
Yes, we are very excited to bring to you today some local New York talent, a DJ that I've had the pleasure of playing with here in Brooklyn. Please welcome Renee.
Hello.
Thank you for being here and joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going?
It's going good. Happy to be
Nice.
here.
Yeah, excited you were able to do it. You know, we kind of just like to go through the whole story, I guess, top to bottom. Let's start with where you're originally from and maybe what brought you to New York.
Cool. Yeah, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So,
Nice, love that
Midwestern,
city.
Midwestern vibes over here. But yeah, moved to New York in 2016, I guess, originally for my career, which had nothing to do with DJing, but yeah, like the creative advertising side of things. And
I wanted to mention St. Louis. Is that where Skyline Chili is from? Is that the thing there?
that's Cincinnati.
Oh,
which
okay.
actually, it's
I knew there was something there.
That's weird that I know that though, because my fiance spent a lot of time in Cincinnati and like knows all about Skyline Chili. So
what is that?
I don't know. It's like a chili, I guess, right? From
Yeah.
Cincinnati. I thought it was from St. Louis.
St. Louis has toasted ravioli. That's like
Damn.
our
Toasted
thing.
ravioli?
Toasted ravioli.
They have a
yeah.
different-
Wait. We got to hear about toasted ravioli. What's that about?
You don't know what it is?
No.
It's
A
like
culinary
fried.
masterpiece. Chefty, I'm surprised, bro.
I know. I mean, I learned like French cooking, so they're not like, okay, and here's how you make toasted ravioli from St. Louis.
It's fried ravioli, essentially. So,
Oh,
but they just
gotcha.
call it toasted
But it's, like,
ravioli.
dry.
But it's, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's filled with beef or cheese or whatever, but it's delicious. And
Do you
it's,
like hold it with your hand like a chip? Do
Yeah.
you dip it?
Yeah.
yeah, you dip it in some marinara sauce and
quite a
scarf
delight.
it down. Yeah.
Really? It looks
yeah.
like a mozzarella stick.
Yeah, but
kind
no,
of
it's
different
yeah, it's
texture.
square.
All right. Well, forgive my ignorance on
and
the
then you'd
subject.
eat it with Emo's Pizza, which is like our, you know,
Yeah, because you guys
our
have
famous
a
pizza.
Yeah, they have like a different type of cheese blend that they do in St.
Prevel.
Louis.
Yeah, see, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
All
our
right.
old tour managers
Prevel,
from
yeah,
St.
it's a-
Louis.
Okay, so don't make it seem like you're Mr. St. Louis culture over here.
I'm just a cultured man.
Wait, you don't know about Prevel mixed cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Is that
it's
how you say it? I don't
delicious.
even know what you guys are talking about. I've never heard of
Prevel.
any of this stuff.
It's basically just a bunch of cheeses mixed together and you throw it on some like
It's got a better melting factor.
cardboard-esque type pizza, some people call it, but it's delicious.
Like a flat crust?
It's like,
a
yeah,
thin crust?
it's-
Very crispy though.
So they do like thin crust, own cheese blend. St. Louis is what the food is there.
Yeah.
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 And then you got the dry
it's-
raviolis. What do they call
yeah.
it? Toasted.
The dried raviolis.
I just imagine dry,
fried.
crispy. Yeah.
No,
fried.
it's delicious. It's like, you know, the consistency of what, like you said.
Is it a meal or is it like a snack?
It's an app. Yeah.
It's an appetizer. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Get with the culture, man.
I'm just trying
It's
to learn.
delicious.
I'm trying to understand. I don't know much about St. Louis. I've been there. They got the arch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been in there. It's like a museum inside, but I didn't go
Yeah,
up. into
totally.
it.
Well, there's great.
What's the museum?
The City Museum.
City Museum, the best museum in the country.
It's like,
All right. You just got to settle down.
no,
over there.
it is. That's
No,
true.
it's
And
super
it's
cool.
not.
Yeah,
It's like a
all
playground.
interactive. Yeah, it's an interactive playground. They have all this cool stuff that you can mess
love
around
Like
with.
trippy
love
art
that.
type stuff. Like it's not a
Wow.
museum. It's like a adult
An experience.
playground. It's an
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, if you ever, you know, tour to St. Louis or whatever, go play at the pageant. That's the spot.
Pageant?
Yeah.
I played a show in an old band a long time ago in St. Louis, and we played at a venue that was like, kind of looked like the inside of a barn. It was
At
very-
ins-
it
or
was
where
like
is
a big
this?
lot of rafters and stuff like that, like inside, like kind of looked like we were in a barn. That's all I remember.
I used to play the
Sounds
Play
pretty cool.
STL festival a bunch, and they did it like kind of all over the city. And one of the venues was like that. I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
yeah. It was a pretty big place too.
Yeah. So let's get back into
I
the
know, I'm
music.
sorry,
on this.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I love this.
I could talk
sidetrack
about
though.
ravioli for a while, but
I just wanted to learn about St. Louis.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you found your musical identity in St. Louis, or was it when you moved here that you really kind of like dove into that realm?
that's a really good question. So I mentioned the pageant. My first EDM show I ever went to was Avicii at the pageant, which
Wow.
That's cool.
is funny, crazy to think about now because that's really a pretty small venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just remember being like, whoa, EDM is awesome. This is
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was more like, yeah, prior to moving to New York, going to my first music festival, which was Tomorrow World in 2013.
Nice.
And
Another great one, yeah.
that's when I really was like, okay, not only do I love this, but I also want to create my own, like really like curate.
Explore it.
Yeah, figure out what I liked. And like Spotify was just becoming popular at that time. So I like, you know, made my own Spotify playlist
Oh,
and
yeah.
multiple of them and had different moods and would send them to friends. And I was like
I think
my
that's the
hobby.
first step though for a lot of people as a DJ. Like how I started was I would burn CDs for my friends and like it was like the curation of it. And that's like kind of like your first step into it.
And since the Spotify era has started, it's become, I started making playlists and like I got into DJing from that. You know, you start curating and then you start realizing that you can learn the technique and then like bring it to a live aspect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And I feel like that's where like the skill of DJ, like, anybody can like turn knobs, but I feel like you have to have that passion for actually figuring out what people like and figuring out what you like and having that unique taste and stuff. So
I think that's what separates like a good DJ from a great DJ is that curation that you're able to put together. So what was your first DJ set then ever?
It was for like first official one. I mean, I would play rooftops and stuff or like with my friends at their parties or whatever. The first official one was with Lunar Lounge that you guys probably know about, my friend Aaron. It was maybe Lunar Lounge's second ever show, at this little venue. Yeah, this venue called Drom in, East Village, which is super tiny, and it was literally like a 1 minute walk from where I lived in East Village.
Like First Avenue?
Yeah, Avenue A. Really close. So yeah, that was before I even like knew how to work CDJs. Like I was just on I brought my own like setup, had my SB2 and had a laptop but hooked it up to all the big stuff. And that just like a spark went off and I was like, this is awesome.
You got addicted.
I want to learn more. Yeah. I want to like get really good at this and try to do it more. So that was a pretty dope experience.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember when I got the itch the first time, I was going to parties a lot and my friend was DJing and throwing these huge parties in Miami. And then eventually he's like, you've been here enough. Why don't you just DJ? You know the stuff we play. And I was like, could I?
Yeah.
I was just like so pumped to just be in charge of the music for a minute. And my mixing was terrible, but I was like just over the moon doing it because there's something about that moment where you're just like in the zone and like seeing the people react to the music. Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is gonna kill the next song.
Yeah.
They're gonna love it. And you drop it and everybody explodes and you're like, can't beat that feeling.
Yeah, 100%. And then like having that first gig and I'm like, okay, I've made it. I was like, this was my dream, was to have a gig.
You made it through the first door.
And then I was like, wait a minute, this isn't making it. There's so much more. And then you just, it's addicting.
Yeah, and I think there's a never ending tier because I think every part in your career, like you see like, I wanted to now play like this club or I want to do this festival.
Right.
And then it becomes like
the goal keeps moving. The goal keeps moving. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's amazing. So then, so you've done a few things with Lunar Lounge, right? Which is exciting.
Yeah.
But that was a while back. Like when did he start doing
That was the first one. My first real gig was in 2018, very beginning of 2019. Which feels like that was a year ago, but apparently it was more like 4.
Well, there's like 2.5 years that don't really count.
Exactly, exactly. So there was like a show at Szymanski in later in 2019.
Oh, awesome. What was that with?
Odd Mob was the headliner, and that was Lunar Lounge as well. Right. And that was like kind of more of a turning point of like, okay, I can play bigger gigs now, and kind of like starting to hone in on my style.
It's such a fun room to play.
Yeah.
What how did you like link up with Aaron or like how did you start playing out at first? 'Cause I know a lot of people are curious, we're at the Sound Collective of schools, like how do I get gigs? Like how did you kind of approach them?
Totally. Aaron and I were friends through our other friend, Sam. So like the two of them, I would definitely owe a lot of my interest in DJing and also like just like getting over the hump of like, oh, that would be cool to learn how to DJ to actually like they would sit down with me and show me how to do it. And they were just really kind of
instrumental.
Yeah, instrumental in that
level.
Push. So Aaron and I were friends, and that's how I got that first gig. But I'd say after that, it was me just kind of reaching out to whoever I could and networking with whoever I could.
Like seeing other people who were throwing parties, other DJs.
Yeah, and realizing like, yes, like being friends with Aaron was huge, but also I can just reach out to elsewhere and like try to get in with those people or, go to different parties and introduce myself to people and just kind of like have that
putting yourself out there.
Yeah, putting myself out there and having that confidence to do that was definitely helpful.
Were you sending a lot of these places like mixes or were you
I would just like I put together, one of those like nicely designed packages of everything I've done, little DJ resume, send out an email to people, send out my mixes to people. And just, be like, I feel like part of it is just being like a good human.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just gotta like meet people and.
Is that how you got on the Gold Room party that we played together?
Yeah, so with Elsewhere, I just randomly reached out to them. I played with them a couple other times before that Gold Room set, so at that point we already had a relationship.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, in the beginning, it was just randomly sending people stuff and telling them what I'm all about. And also, I would find out who the headliners were, and then I'd be like, very early in my DJ career, I would see like Dombresky playing or something and be like, I could open for Dombresky for this and this and this reason. Like so business minded.
Well, I was gonna say, so do you think that your your day job kind of has helped you with your DJing? Because you're talking about the nice packaging and the good design of it.
I'm all about branding, which is, it's like annoying in some aspects because,
but also a very good tool for you.
Yeah,
branding is a big part of it,
Right. Yeah, and on social media, sometimes it's like, do I have to have this like social media presence when it's really all about the music? But for me, it's fun to create that like vibe that people can relate to, both like visually and like personality wise and music wise and everything. So, I have fun with that, and I think that helps me to communicate with these venues and have people kind of remember who I am.
We've had a couple other people on, I forget if it was this podcast or one of others that are more in the business side of music.
Yeah.
How important and what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to build that brand or create that essence? You know what I mean? Because that can be a really hard thing for people. Like, how did you approach that?
Yeah. I would say just go with what you like. I feel like people are, focused on what's popular at the moment or what's trending on social media or whatever it might be. And if you go with that, you're only going to make it so far, or you're going to get bored with yourself.
Facts.
Which is like, if you're not having fun while you're doing it and feeling like true to yourself while you're doing it, then what's the point?
I think that true to yourself aspect of it is like one of the things that have come up in other podcasts we've done is being genuine and true to who you are, because that's what people really want to connect with.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think I've been trying to, I have this like funky disco vibe, whatever, Renee, but also I really love like Lane 8, for example. That melodic stuff. And so I'm just letting myself do whatever feels right to me, music-wise and brand-wise and all of that. And I'm just trusting that will, gather the right audience.
Yeah, I think people can feel like when it's sincere and genuine, like you were saying, like, oh, this is who I am, this is what I like it doesn't feel inauthentic or anything like that. So I think that resonates with the people that are like checking you out. So it's got to be real, not like the app where they just take a photo in the day, but otherwise it's got to be real.
Well,
exactly.
you kind of talked about a little bit of your music taste kind of being a wide range.
Yeah.
You're going to do a mix, which you guys can check out in the link below after this. Do you have any songs for sure you're going to drop in this mix that you're about to lay down for us? Or what type of vibe are you going to go for?
Yeah, some tech house, some disco vibes, the typical Renee set, kind of like combining all of those things. I've been really into LPGOB lately, so I'll throw in her track called Free. The club edit of that is just like so cool. It's so good. She's awesome. So I'll probably put that in
she's
there.
really taken off too. It's great to see that.
Yeah.
I've met her a few times back in the day. She's super nice.
Yeah.
She's really cool.
That's awesome.
You mentioned briefly when we were talking about having you here, you're like, oh, is it okay that I don't produce or anything like that?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But is that something you're looking to get into?
100%. 100%. And I have. I have Logic. I
nice.
went through earlier when I first got started with DJing and all of that, I was spending a lot more time learning to produce as well. So I've got you
dabbled
the
into
basic.
it?
Yeah, I've dabbled, but I just know it takes. Really got to dive into it if I'm gonna.
Was it intimidating kind of getting into it?
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely
having knowledge,
intimidating.
DJing already and knowing how dance music works. Where are you kind of starting with? Are you trying to do maybe sampling some things? Are you trying to write melodies and things, or kind of what's your approach for somebody who's just getting into it? Because it's been a long time since I had that experience, but I'm curious to see.
Definitely sampling has been the easiest way to get something done.
For sure.
Quicker,
it's
as
nice
you guys
to start
probably
with
know.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in writing melodies, and I play around with that as well. And I'm really interested in writing lyrics actually. So I write lyrics all the time for fun. If you guys ever need some lyrics.
Amazing.
I will tap
I'll show you my notes app on my phone.
I actually did an experiment with ChatGPT for some lyrics.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and get some lyrics on ChatGPT and then hire a Fiverr vocalist to sing them.
Oh my God.
So that's happening right now.
We did that this week in our session. We did a ChatGPT lyrics and we had Apollo like sing it.
What if we get the same lyrics? It depends on the prompt, but I'm curious to see how that comes out.
That's hilarious. I haven't thought of that aspect of the ChatGPT yet.
Yeah, I just wanted to play around with it. I've done a couple little experiments like that, but that's exciting you're getting into it. And I think always just kind of like flexing your creative muscle, like you're saying, writing lyrics all the time is always good, you know?
Yes.
And honestly, have a back catalog of all your notes and like notepad or whatever you have, because as you continue creating and writing new material, you'll be like, oh, this would actually work over that. You're gonna have a stock of stuff to work with. And maybe you'll sing it, maybe you won't. You could always get somebody else and like you'll have like a really nice starting point.
Yeah.
Which we were talking about earlier is like having something to start with is such a great way to kind of like go into it, because starting from a blank canvas can be really tough. It's like, okay, how do we start? You know, it's like, okay, that's cool, but there's nothing there to work with. You know, it's
right?
Like having like an idea, lyrical idea, or something makes you think of sounds, and like that can inspire and trigger a lot of different things. So that's really cool that you're getting into that already in that way. I think like lyric writing is probably like the last thing for most people, unless you're just trying to.
No, I'm trying to just like follow when inspiration strikes. I'll just go for it.
That's
I'll just
the
like
best
record
way.
something, or just get that idea out there, so then I can like do all the technical stuff later, because that's what I'll get.
We'll have
stuck
to
on.
hear some stuff. That you had.
I won't sing it though, so we'll have to get somebody on Fiverr.
You never know. You never know. You might hire a singer and be like, they didn't quite deliver it the way I'm hearing it in my head, and then you might just do it, sometimes mimicking it the way you think it should sound, rather than being your true voice. So.
Amazing. Let's get some
auto-tune
on that.
You have so much to tap into. I'm excited for you, because
Thank
you have a whole new thing aside from DJing that's still involved with that you get to kind of explore. So
Absolutely.
I'm a little jealous, because I'm like years deep in producing and songwriting. Now I'm just like bittersweet.
Just jaded.
Fuck it. Get it over with. No, I still love it and enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, and you've done a lot of really amazing shows since you've been here in New York. Any other highlights you want to mention? I guess.
Izu was
that is incredible. Last year you got to play Izu.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that was really freaking cool.
Yeah.
I hope I can do something like that
I
again.
saw some of the content. I didn't get there, unfortunately, until way later in the day, so I did not make your set, but I saw some of the videos you posted.
Yeah, I played one of your tracks.
I saw, Thank you so much for that.
You had the horn player up there with you too.
Yeah,
right?
I had a saxophone player.
That's awesome.
My friend Ed, he killed it. We were, that just kind of like fit with my style as I'm like, starting to prepare everything. And I'm like, he lives in England. He doesn't even live around here. And I texted him. I was like, would you be, no, I saw him in person. We were at a wedding. And I was like, would you be willing to come to Izu? And he was like, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Hell yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, I will be there 100%. And then we're like, discussing the matching outfits and all that.
That was a great call, though. I think that was a cool way to just like
make it
add a
unique.
little more. Yeah. 100%.
For sure. Yeah. It was a really cool experience.
What else is on the horizon for you? What do you have coming up, and what are some like aspirations that you want to try to like push yourself into?
For sure. Well, summer is coming, so I'm sure there will be many, hopefully some more elsewhere shows. I feel like that's become a consistent for Renee the DJ.
Nice.
But there's a couple floating out there that I can't fully mention yet, but hopefully a music festival this summer. Will be happening. So,
any dream DJs that you wish you could like do a show with?
At the moment, I'm gonna say LPGOB.
Oh,
because she's just she's awesome, and also the fact that she's a female DJ who's actually / producer who's actually the style that I like. There's there's only a handful out there. So the fact that she's also like one of my top favorites right now, that would be awesome to open for her sometime.
Yeah, that would be a really good mix.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's watching at home, where can people find you online?
So let's see. Instagram would be the easiest. Renee the DJ, but it's RNE _ DJ. And then on my SoundCloud, which you can find through my Instagram, or I think it's soundcloud.com/Renee the DJ.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to take this time to thank Sound Collective for having us in this beautiful space. We have a bunch of different programs here that you guys can take advantage of. Membership, where you guys can come in here, pay one monthly fee, and utilize anything in the facility, including all this beautiful gear, the recording studio. We have a performance space. We have a live stream room. We have online classes for subscription and for certificate and a bunch of private lessons. So thank you to Sound Collective for having us in the building today.
Yeah, and thank you, Renee, for joining us in a conversation. We're excited to hear your DJ set in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. I guess that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah. I'm Rich Furniss.
And I'm Lefty. Thank you for watching.